Yes, boys, we finally done it. We have finally got the win in London. Oh my god, the first time in 3.5 years. It had been coming. It was deserved. We played some brilliant performances in London leading up to it. We just couldn't quite get the win. But finally, the hoodoo is gone. I'm going to need to pop something out to celebrate with you lot. Let's all get our champers out. Get the beers out. Whatever you're drinking, everyone get one down you now. Because it is time to celebrate, baby. Hey guys, it's your boy JT. And I am buzzing, as I'm sure all of you will be, for this entire weekend. We have finally done it in London. And I'm going to be going through that Fulham match that we all just watched. If you do enjoy the video, then a like would be appreciated. But I don't know if it can make me any happier than I already am right now. I'm going to be honest with you. But it would still be appreciated. And let's get into it. So, where do I start with that one? What a firecracker of a performance. We dipped down a bit in the second half. The first 20 minutes of that second half and the last 10 minutes of the first half, we died down a bit. We weren't really playing with our same injection of energy and pace. But throughout the rest of the game, they were second best to everything. We dominated them today. And it looked like there was a clear difference in quality, level, class, everything today. Not only the players, the tactics, the whole round play. They are not on our level. I said it from the start. I said it during the game. We had to be winning this because there is level to this game. And look, you may not think that we're at the level of European pedigree right now, but we are certainly above the level of relegation zone. And a lot of people coming into this season, doubted us. They said, we're going to get relegated. We're going to be down there in a scrap. Our football's not going to work against these Premier League sides. And we've proven this year that that is not the case. And when we do come up against these relegation threatened teams, we are on a different level to them. It is simple as that. Their players are nowhere near as good as us. They're nowhere near as tactically in tuned as us. We outworked them. We outplayed them. At times, they looked like they couldn't live with us. Defensively, again, though, I will have to touch on it. I don't want to bring too many negatives into it. But after we did score our first goal, we did look shaky at the back a bit. They were applying quite a bit of pressure again. And Gisa, I said it, the midfield runners, he was running us ragged at times there, picking up the ball, taking on 2, 3, 4 players. Not getting challenged at all. But you know what? That's going to be expected when we do attack. There are going to be those times where we are left defensively lacking a bit. Bit of pinball action in our box for a bit until they eventually did convert the set piece. And of course, it is the man I slagged off, Anderson, before the game. I said I didn't think he was anything too special. He goes and scores. I look like a right muppet, but you know what? We still won the game, so I'll take that. Now that's the negatives out the way. I didn't want to dwell on that for too long because there are no negative emotions in my body right now. We were fantastic today. And while I say there was no negative emotions, our first goal getting ruled out by VAR definitely filled me with some negative emotions, to say the least. Let's just say there were a few choice words released by yours truly. Because at that point, it was like our previous 5 goals had been disallowed by VAR. I couldn't believe it, man. Honestly, the second they showed that first replay and I saw there was a slight bit of contention with Tyler Roberts, I just knew something was going to happen to rule it out. It always does with us, and I could not believe it. I feel so bad for Tyler because Robert Senior, he's played phenomenal the past couple of games. Today, again, he was class and he put a brilliant ball in. I so want him to get a goal or an assist to his name. Something to prove the hard work that he's been putting down. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case, but what a ball in. An absolute bullet header from Ayling, and you can just tell he was waiting to whip that headband off. I was whipping it off with him. I pulled mine off. I was doing this. I don't quite have the luscious locks that Ayling has, unfortunately, but I was still celebrating along with him. And you could just tell he's been waiting ever since that Huddersfield goal to unleash that celebration. So sad it didn't happen for him today. Got ruled out, unfortunately, but I'm sure he will score soon. It's only a matter of time before he gets his first Premier League goal for us. After that, we looked dangerous. We looked very dangerous throughout that first half an hour of the game. We were creating a lot of chances, not quite putting them away. And then, of course, I go to get something out of the oven for 1 second. It's unbelievable. You see it in my my reaction video, which I will upload later this week. I go to the kitchen for 1 second. My mate Abdul starts screaming in the other room. I come back. Before I know it, the ball's nestled in the back of the net from the throw-in. Honestly, I thought, we got to throw him. We're going to have a couple of seconds of time here. Nothing's going to happen. Nope, instantly, 1-2, bang, drilled across by Jack Harrison. Brilliant finish by Bamford. He was alert when everyone else was asleep. And you know what? Speaking about Bamford today, this proves exactly why he should have been put in the England side. He's come back from injury, wasn't 100% fit, still gets a goal and an assist. And him with Raphinha were our two best players on the pitch, and the reason why we did beat them today. Bamford was absolutely quality yet again. I don't know what Gareth Southgate's been smoking, not putting him in the side and putting Ollie Watkins ahead of him. Again, nothing against Ollie Watkins, but Patrick Bamford is just different gravy. He's got to be in that side for me. Quality yet again today. Absolutely fantastic finish. Looks easier than what it was because he had to be alert. He was quick to the ball. Everyone else was half asleep. The ball drills across. He gets himself perfectly in the right position and he hits it with a perfect amount of weight, slices it into that bottom corner of the goal. If you get too much connection on it, sometimes it can go straight into the keeper's hands or it can fizzle wide, but he got the right connection on it. Cool, calm, composed finish from the lad to make it 1-0. Brilliant stuff from him. Unfortunately, as I said with the Anderson goal, we did go into half-time with a 1-1 draw. Not very fortunate for us. I think it was against the run of play and we did deserve to go into the half-time with the lead. But what can you do? It was about how were we going to respond in the second half. First 5-10 minutes, we looked a bit shaky at times. Fulham were mounting quite a bit of pressure on us. It wasn't looking the best. And then all of a sudden, the ball goes up the other end of the pitch. Brilliant play by Bamford. The defender's about to get it. And look, I'm going to wax lyrical about Raphinha and the way he scored, but what people are not going to realise is the play that Bamford did to win that ball. It should have been the defender's ball, but Bamford again was so alert. He knew exactly where the ball was going to drop. He gets in there an inch before the defender gets there, uses his body perfectly to shield the ball away from him, spins him, leaves him for dead, outside of the foot, flicks it on, and Raphinha had so much work to do after this ball was here. The ball was kind of behind him, it wasn't in front of him. He had two men covering him from either position. You thought the chance was done. There's no way we're going to score. And he lets the ball roll across his body perfectly, flicks it with his left foot to open a tiny margin of space in which he flicks it with the outside of his right foot into the corner, bounces off the floor, gets just enough height to go over Areola's hands. What a finish by Raphinha. Pure class from the guy, pure class from Bamford. Those two and their link-up play together is phenomenal. I love watching them two together. They're such a duo. They're better than Son and Kane in my opinion. The dynamics of their play are just so delightful to watch, and it's just so great watching players like Raphinha play for my club. I'm a bit of a younger Leeds fan, so I haven't seen the great players like Viduka, Harry Kewell and these sorts of class players on the ball because I was too young. I was 2-3 years old when they were playing for Leeds. But now, on the other hand, I get to see players like Raphinha and Bamford in their pomp. Calvin Phillips spraying the balls around the midfield. It is phenomenal to watch. And I can just only pray we keep hold of Raphinha because that guy is a Ballon d'Or winner in the making. I'm telling you. And again about Raphinha, last 2 minutes of the game, I'm saying to Mateus, I'm saying I want you to make every single blade of grass yours. We've got 13 minutes to hold off. We need you to win everything up there just so that we can hold off and not concede. He wasn't quite doing that enough for me. He seemed a bit heavy-footed. Raphinha, on the other hand, 94th minute. He'd been on the pitch since the first minute and he is sprinting down every single loose ball, every single inch of an advantage he can get. He's running it down. He's making that ball his and he is doing everything. Raphinha, eat your heart out, my son. He was brilliant yet again. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't wax lyrical enough about this guy. He wins everything. He does everything. He's class on the ball. He's class off the ball. He is class on grass personified. It doesn't get any better than him today. And oh my God, I just love watching him. I love his mentality, the anger, the venom, the fury he shows when he doesn't win the ball, when he doesn't get a goal, when it doesn't quite work for him. He is always angry. He's determined to make sure he's the best he can be. The team's the best it can be. And he is just phenomenal. I think that's enough waxing lyrical about my man RAPHINHA, but I'm sure you guys all have the exact same emotions below. Look, what did you think of his performance today? What did you think of Bamford's performance today? Come on, lads. I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. Honestly, who was your best player? Like I said, I don't think I'm going to see anyone going past Bamford or RAPHINHA for their man of the match today. Maybe you did. Maybe I saw a different game to you. And I'm always open to hear what you guys have to say. Because look, just like everyone, I confirm my own confirmation bias at times, and I need someone to offer a contrasting opinion maybe to make me question, was I 100% right about this? Are you right? I'm never 100% right about everything. No one is. And I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on the matter down below. Maybe you're a Fulham fan even. I'm down to hear what you guys have to say. What did you think of Scott Parker's performance today? Do you think he did the job? Do you think tactically set you out right? Would you have started MITROVIC, for example, when he came on? I don't think he did too much. So was it the right decision to leave him on the bench? Maybe it was. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below if there are any of you there. And thank you to you lot down there. Thank you for helping us get our first win in London, because trust me, it seemed impossible, but we finally got it now and I am buzzing. Let me fix the trim. Jesus, my trim is all over the gaff. I'm telling you, man, this April, June, July, May, whatever the hell the 14th, whenever these barbershops are opening, it cannot come soon enough because my trim is an absolute state right now. Oh my god, it's unbelievably bad. This Alice band is the only thing saving it, I'll tell you that much. Alright, we're going to get into our player ratings for the day. Meslier, we're going to start with him, and he was fantastic. You know what? At times, he did leave me a bit suspect, so a couple of slap of the hand actions again from corners, dropping the ball a couple of times, but some of the saves he pulled out. One of the saves where I don't know who shoots it. I think it's Anguissa drills it and he just gets his hand to it. The ball is then cleared off the line by Ayling. An absolutely fantastic save. If that went in, that would have put Fulham 2-1 up. Could have been a completely different game. So for that alone, Meslier, I'm going to have to give you a 9 out of 10. You were fantastic at times today. Sure, you're a bit, you know, you gave me heart attacks with some of your actions, but that's always going to happen. And you were composed, you kept your head calm, even when we did concede from the corner, and you pulled off a couple of excellent stops. So fantastic from you today, son. 9 out of 10 for me. Defensively, again, Struijk had a little back pass header, which almost cost us. And sure, from set pieces, we conceded another corner, so he's got to be at fault for that partially. But I do think him and Llorente did play very well together, and we were always going to give up a few chances to Fulham. We always do. They're just that side that always seem to find angles against us. They always seem to craft a couple of opportunities, and I think they held themselves in high regard today. I feel like they played very well, those two. I'm going to give Struijk and Llorente both an 8 out of 10. Again, it's just the set piece holding them back for me. If it wasn't for that set piece, then I would have put him higher. You know what? I'm going to put Llorente at an 8.5 because he would have got a goal. I just suddenly remembered when the ball came across. I think it was RAPHINHA whipped in the free kick, and the ball was coming across back sticks to Llorente, who timed his run perfectly. He was about to slot it in, but Struijk came in and took the ball off him, smashed it wide, even though he was offside. So, you know what? Llorente would have scored. Struijk, you did kind of screw him over there, but I can understand exactly why you went for it. Kind of unlucky from you there. Right back Ayling again for the goal. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. He didn't do anything wrong today. He played very well attackingly in my eyes. Defensively, he didn't really hold a foot too wrong. He marshalled them out wide very well. He didn't make any glaring mistakes to my knowledge. And again, for that bullet header, got to be a 9 out of 10 for me. You know what? 9.5 just for the celebration. Just for the way he got those locks out. Absolute fantastic celebration. The knee slide with the hairband out. You can't beat it. 9.5 out of 10 for me. Alioski at left back. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. He was an absolute shithouse today. He was getting in their heads. He was getting them riled up. Beautiful stuff. He was in their heads. He was fouling them. He was giving these little things away. But when he fouls them, he's very clever. He doesn't just go and hack and slash everyone down. He's not like a Berardi who's just a loose cannon just going and two-footing everyone. He'll make these little fouls and they'll build up throughout the game, but they're not enough to get him booked necessarily, so he can keep making them and he can keep getting in opposition's head and he just gets them rattled out. I love a player like that, just a pure shithouse. That is what the beautiful game is all about. One of those shithouses that just mugs them off, gets in their head, gets them angry. Lovely performance from Alioski today. Gonna give him a 9 out of 10. Calvin Phillips Phillips wasn't his best game, but again, another fantastic performance from him. I feel like he was dropping back, you know, giving us a lot of defensive stability back there when Strike moved forward or when Llorente moved forward. And generally, I think his passing play was good. I don't think he was as good as he was against Chelsea. He wasn't quite as tenacious, but then we had a bit more of the ball, so maybe that's why. And you know what? I think the only reason why I wouldn't think he was necessarily fantastic is just because of how well he plays in other games. So he's kind of the victim of his own success. So as of that, if I'm going to give them 9s out of 10s, I'm going to have to give Calvin a 9 out of 10 as well. Another great performance from the lad. Can't look past a 9 out of 10 for me. Left wing, Jack Harrison. I did say Costa should have started ahead of him today, but oh boy, how wrong was I. Jack Harrison was fantastic today. He was unbelievable. Brilliant assist for Bamford's first goal. He was causing them danger the whole time. That run when he was on the right flank, him and RAPHINHA were into switching a lot of times. Once he was on the left, then he was on the right, then he was on the left, then he was on the right. They kept changing. It gave them so many things to think about defensively, and it worked fantastically when he came on the right and he nutmegged someone, put it through two people, shot it near post, very close. Brilliant play by him. Again, he was doing that all day. He was taking players on. He was putting dangerous balls in. It was a fantastic performance by him. I'm going to give him a 9.3 out of 10 for me. He was class today. It was one of his best performances in a while. Very happy for the guy getting himself back in form. He had a couple of wayward performances before that, and it's easy to lose confidence as a player, but you know what? He kept his head up, and today he performed fantastically. 9.3 for me. In the midfield role, Dallas was fantastic again. I'm loving watching him in that midfield position. Defensively, he offers us so much because he does track the runners. He's in there. He's a physical presence. He's a bit box to box. He's showing you he's about. He's knocking you around. He's then knocking it past you, making runs down the line. He's doing everything in there. He's an absolute workhorse, an absolute unit. And he's done a bit of agent maneuvers to get Erling Haaland to come to Leeds next year. So, you know, that's always going to be a little bit of a plus for him. But generally, another fantastic performance from him. I felt like he was immense today, as they all were. And for me, I'm going to have to give him, I'd say a 9 out of 10. I don't think he was as good as Jack, but I'd say he's a 9 out of 10. I feel like him and Calvin were kind of on a par today for me. Robert Senior, you know what? Alright, fine. I think Robert Senior was a bit better than Dallas, to be honest, because I think offensively he did offer quite a bit more. Robert Senior, again, I feel so bad for him they didn't get that assist. And if I am going to give Dallas a 9, I'm going to have to put Roberts a 9.1, because I think he was just a tiny bit better than Dallas. I think Dallas was still fantastic. I just think Robert Senior was quality today. And I'm loving watching him now. He just looks the part. He oozes class. He oozes silk and sauce. Everything good to watch about football. Everything I love watching about football. The beautiful arts of it. The crafts, the skills, the turns, the trickery, the flair. Everything he showed in abundance today. So you know what? I'm going to give him a 9.1 out of 10. Now I'm on to the main man. RAPHINHA on the right wing. 10 out of 10 performance from him again. You know what? There were times right near the end of the second half, last 20 minutes, we should have really made it 4-5. And he was a culprit a bit. There were a couple of chances. One of them where he licked a couple of players and then played the ball a bit poor. If he played it to Bamford, he would have scored. But generally, he was playing players in. He was running them ragged till the last minute of the game. He was a 10 out of 10 today. The goal was his making. Pure class. Generally, running them ragged, putting beautiful balls in from set pieces, from crosses. He was always dangerous today. He always had them alert. And another fantastic performance from him today. Man of the match, in my opinion. Very close second was Patrick Bamford, who I'm going to give a 9.7 out of 10 for me. Patrick Bamford, again, was pure class today. He was putting himself about. He was a physical presence, and he was showing Gareth Southgate exactly why he should have been picked for England. I laid the gauntlet down for him yesterday. I said, show him who's boss, show him who's king, show him who should be starting for England, and that is exactly what he did today. Fantastic performance from the lad. Absolutely beautiful. Knocking him about, showing him who's boss. You know, look, Anderson, yeah, he scored, but Bamford had him on toast today. Anderson looked like a Mickey Mouse pub player next to Bamford. Bamford was just on a different planet. His IQ was above anything Fulham could do. He was spinning them left, right, and centre. And you know what? Positioning again, fantastic. Such an underrated asset is the runs he makes, the ways he can get himself into that space to craft an option, to craft an angle, to open space up for teammates. And again, he was doing that all today. He was pressing from the front, and he wasn't 100% fit, which is going to push him up even more. He'd just come back from that injury. He was about 75-80% fit, I heard, before the game. Had to come off after 70 minutes being injured because the injury was playing up again. And you know what? Fantastic performance from the guy. 9.7 out of 10. Second best player on the pitch for me today. A goal and an assist. I can't talk well enough about him. It's going to be hard to figure out where he's going to play alongside Haaland when he comes, isn't it? You know, going to have to play two up front or something, because Bamford cannot be pulled out of the team at this moment in time. And I hope the injury isn't that sufficient. I hope it's not that bad. And I hope he can play in our next fixture. Finally, the last player to come on the pitch was Mateusz Klich. He came on for about 17 minutes if you include stoppage time. We're talking about 22 minutes of the game. And he came on because Bamford, like I said, was injured. So he came into the midfield, pushed Tyler Roberts up top. And I feel like he played well on the ball a bit. He didn't really have too much to do, too much flair to show, because we were defensively under the cosh at times in there. And when we did go offensively forward, he didn't really get himself too involved. I'll give him, I don't want to be harsh on him because he has been getting slated a lot recently and I don't think he deserves it. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 just because I really do like the guy and I do rate him. And he didn't do too much wrong. He didn't do too much right either. I wanted to see a bit more pressing from him, a bit more urgency. But maybe he's not fit. Maybe he does need a little rest. Maybe there's a little injury there. I don't know what's going on with Klich, to be honest. I don't think he's as bad as people are saying he was. But today, he could have been a bit sharper for me. Could have been a bit more, had a bit more urgency in his play, but I don't want to get too dulled down on that because I am happy right now. It's a celebratory mood. We have just won in London, and I don't want to be thinking about if, whats, and maybes about Mateusz Klich. So I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. Very average performance from him. But then again, he didn't have too much time on the pitch. Anyway, that just about sums up the performance. Again, what did you think of this performance? Do you think we can kick on and get that top 10 position now? Who did you think was going to win? Look, I saw some comments in the last video saying that we have a great defence and we're going to look shored up and we're going to get a clean sheet. Didn't quite get the clean sheet, but you know what, lad? He said 2-0. We scored 2 goals. So, my man, you almost got it right there. Very good call from you. You clearly know your stuff. Great minds think alike, eh? And generally, again, a dominant performance at the back. As he did say, we have looked a lot more assured. Unfortunately, it was the set piece that became our undoing. But aside from that, we were very, very good. But what do you think about this? What do you think about our upcoming fixtures? Do you think we can slap Sheffield United aside? Do you think we can still push on for Europe? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down below. Maybe you're a Fulham fan, as I said. What do you think about this? Do you think you're assured relegation now? Do you think Scott Parker's the man to beat you in that, to get you out of that relegation zone, to get you ahead of Newcastle or Brighton? Because let's not forget, Brighton are still knocking around in that relegation zone. And hey, I wouldn't mind it if they got relegated and we could nab ourselves a Ben White. Do not get me wrong. But what do you think about that, Fulham fans, Leeds fans, any fan of the Premier League that watches, that happens to stumble across this video? What did you think about it? What do you think of your side's prospects? And hey, what did you think of Bamford and RAPHINHA today? That's the big question. What did you think of those two? Hey, like I said, if you did enjoy the video, a like would be very much appreciated. And if you have stumbled across my channel for the first time, have a look at some of my other content. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. If you don't and you want to piss off, that's fair enough. That's fair enough by you. However, if you are going to do that, I would appreciate a little comment, you know, saying, hey, this is what you do right, this is what you do wrong, you're a bit of a biased prick, you know. Whatever you have to say is always appreciated, whether good or bad. It can help me improve my channel and myself as a person, so I'll never look bad on that. And if you did enjoy the video, then a like and a subscribe would be very much appreciated as well. But anyway, I do thank you very much for watching, and I'm just so buzzing right now. Come on, let's take this momentum in the next game. Let's take it into the games after that. Let's beat the scum. Let's beat Liverpool. Let's beat City. Let's beat them all. Come on, boys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.